Hey traders, welcome back to the FX YouTube channel. Hope everyone is good today. Apologies for the live stream, as I didn't have the YouTube live stream enabled and didn't really want to use Twitch, as well as the fact that I became completely exhausted and didn't have the energy to live stream. I just gave up on the idea. I could barely stay up after news, so I ended up sleeping early. I wasn't even able to see most of the New York price action. But this morning I took a little time to review the price action and try to make sense of what happened and what to expect next. So first, let's talk about fundamentals. The ECB decision saw interest rates rise 50 points. This was a lot higher than expected. Originally we were anticipating 25-point increase. So fundamentally we can expect strength in euro moving forward. Regarding the news, you can see that we have all kinds of PMI for the European countries after London Open, and we also have PMI for USD after New York Open. If we go to DXY now. So what did we see on DXY? So price push down during Asia. We got the push up that was expected during London. We broke, swept the highs, and then after that we started to come down a little. And then during New York we came down really aggressively and then had a massive manipulative pullback after sweeping the highs again, and since then we've been coming down. If we go on the 15-minute, so again you can see for Japan Open right here we had a pullback, and then right after that pushed down all through Asia, and then we finally had the push up actually right at London Open, and again we swept the highs, and then we started to come down, created a chalk, had a pullback, no significant supply zones, at least on the 15-minute that you can see. But then after that news came right here 15 minutes after New York Open, and then aggressively the price pushed down, breaking the lows of the day, and then coming way down into demand. And then after that we had our manipulative push to the upside, sweeping the highs again, and then we had huge pushes up and down for a little while, and then after that we had to test the supply, push down, pull back, and then we've been coming down ever since. So for me, in terms of bias, I mean it's bearish. I'm going to go with the fundamentals. Looks like DXY is going to come down further, but what I'm really hoping is that we get a pullback sometime today to test supply somewhere in this area, maybe even the extreme, and then after that pushing down aggressively to end the week. If we go to EU, so starting with the 4-hour, so you can see here is the Asia kill zone. So after Japan Open, we pushed to the upside, and then we got our pullback. So my bias was bearish, so I was expecting one of the supply zones to be hit, and then a push down. So we got our pullback, and then after that we had a push to the upside, and then the manipulative move to the downside. So the push to the upside actually swept the highs, and then the swept the highs. So it broke the supply zone, which for me is quite significant. We didn't close above it though. That's the only problem. But then after that, we came down, swept the lows, and then after that, we had some price movement up and down, and then eventually pushing up where we're at right now. And then if we go to the 15-minute, so again, you can see right at Japan Open, we had our supply break here, and then after that, not really, yeah, we can use this. We had our test of demand, so price came right back into demand, and then after that aggressively pushed up all through Asia session. And then at Frankfurt Open, so at Frankfurt Open we peaked right at Frankfurt Open, and then we started to push down. So I was in a short from near the top. I entered off like a 1 minute demand break, and then after that came down all through the London kill zone, and then we peaked a few hours after London Open, and then I mean we were playing around building liquidity, and then eventually this was the inducement that broke all, well, swept all the demand before coming up, creating a chalk, pulling back almost into demand. Doesn't look like it made it. Yeah, it didn't make it into demand. But we did have a pullback, and then after that started to push up further, and then once that news was released, so for me I was expecting manipulation at the beginning. I was expecting the price to come down first and then up, but instead it pushed right up and broke the highs, so broke the supply zone. And then after that, well, one explanation for why it didn't manipulate first could have been because of the fact that the interest rates were increased more than anticipated. So once that news was released, people started buying Euro EU up, and then after that we had our manipulation, and I was still up right before it started pushing down, but one of my buddies, Danny, got into a AU sell right at the very top. He took one loss, and then he took one loss at early enticement, and then after that he got in at the extreme with like a 3 pip stop loss and took it all the way down. Amazing trade. And then after that, so the manipulation down, we started to range with huge candles up and down. Demand was holding, so first push down, demand holding. Second push up, it didn't break anything to the upside, but demand was still holding. And then after that, just pushed quite heavily to the upside. So, I mean, ultimately, we didn't have the manipulation I was hoping for the after the ECB announcement. I was hoping for a down-up manipulation, but as of right now, it looks like it's more up-down, up manipulation. So for me, in terms of bias and what I'm looking for in terms of trading, I'm going to go with the fundamentals. so I'm going to stick with Euro being bullish from now on. The only problem is we're kind of in the middle of imbalance. Just curious about one thing. If we look at this imbalance, we're close to the 50% of the imbalance. So that's actually a good thing, because I want to look for shorts. But honestly, I mean, as we're in the middle of the imbalance, price could go either way. Ideally, I would like to see a pullback to this flip zone before price pushes to the upside. But at the same time, we do have demand below it, and potentially, I mean, it could come further down into extreme areas. But if this demand breaks, I will be very, very cautious looking for longs at that point. Assuming that the fundamentals start to settle into the market, we should see EU pushing up quite aggressively in the coming days, maybe lasting weeks. If we break the lows, then we really need to reassess and relook at the markets, because that's going to be completely different than expectational order flow based on fundamentals and what we're seeing with the price action right now. But like I said, if a short presents itself, I'll probably look to take it. I probably won't enter anything until Japan opened, but if we have some setup around that time, then I'll probably look to take shorts, targeting the flip zone, probably full volume. And then from the flip zone, I'll start to look for longs. And if it goes to the lower demand, you can see the lower demand is also unmitigated. I will look for longs as well, but my preference is the flip zone, assuming that it holds. Yeah, let's just wait and see. I hope we get that pullback, because that'll give us a couple opportunities for trades. I believe the long we can probably hold at least until the end of the day. Anyways, that's it for me. I hope you guys found this analysis useful. Anyways, I'd like to hear your thoughts about the price action today. Let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you found value in this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe to ensure you don't miss any future videos. And good luck trading today, and have a great weekend. Peace.